I have some terrible news for you Bulls fans. We're getting a report that Zach LaVine might just stay on the Chicago Bulls roster for the entire NBA season. What's going on, guys? My name is Patrick Siepman. Welcome into the Bulls Report. But before we dive into today's show, want to get the pulse of the fan base on this a little bit. Do you want the Bulls to trade Zach LaVine? How are you feeling? If yes, hit that thumbs up icon. And if no, and you are in the minority of Bulls fans, comment your thoughts and explain why you want to keep LaVine on this roster down below in the comment section. All right, so we got this bombshell report from Joe Cowley early on this morning where he says the Chicago Bulls are working on mending their relationship with Zach LaVine. Obviously, we know the Bulls and Zach LaVine do not have a good relationship. We know Billy Donovan and LaVine have gotten to fights in the past over a benching about a year and a half ago. So clearly there is some disconnect between the Bulls front office, Bulls coaching staff, and Zach LaVine. Turns out the Bulls are trying to mend that relationship. And the first thing I thought of was actually the hit TV show Impractical Jokers. I thought this could have possibly been a prank. Like, I'm not even kidding about this. When I saw that report, I was just like, could you imagine if we are all just in an episode of Impractical Jokers and it's Arturis and Mark Eversley just chopping it up back and forth, and then they're like, all right, now we're not going to trade Zach LaVine for the whole offseason. We're just going to keep him on the roster. Like, I felt like I'm being pranked right now with how the Bulls front office has honestly just handled this entire situation. And obviously Zach LaVine is hard to trade. I'm not disagreeing with that. You know, he's coming off his worst year of his, recent NBA career. So far, only averaging 19.5 points per game, was very inefficient for his standards, shooting 45% from the field, 35% from downtown. And obviously his contract is brutal, and that's the biggest reason why the Bulls haven't been able to trade him. But anytime I get a new report on Zach LaVine, whether it's the Bulls are trading him, whether the Bulls are keeping him, it's just funny to me now. I just get this chuckle. Like, I'm serious. I just don't care anymore. And that's a terrible spot to be in as a fan when apathy starts to set in, where you just don't really have an opinion anymore. Like, are the Bulls going to trade him? Are they not? I could care less. Either get the deal done or stop with these reports coming out, because you start looking at this offseason as we are nearing the start of the regular season. What a terrible offseason for the Chicago Bulls. I love the draft pick, Amadis Buzelis. I've actually became a fan of the Josh Giddey, Alex Caruso trade. But what were the two biggest offseason moves that the Bulls need to get done this year? It was trading LaVine, and it was trading Nikola Vucevic. We have not heard one real report about the Bulls even engaging in some serious trade talks, because normally that's the case. Star players on the trade market, you'll get a couple reports out there like the San Antonio Spurs want them, the Lakers want them. We haven't heard anything on that for LaVine or Vucevic. It's mainly just guys trying to get headlines and putting their name out there. And it's just going to look back on this, and I'm just going to say about this offseason, it is going to be terrible. Like, if they roll into this upcoming year with the same guys they had last year, but you just lose DeMar DeRozan and you trade Caruso for Giddey and you draft Amadis Buzelis. That's it. Sign Jalen Smith too. I like him, but the Bulls really haven't done anything. So I do think there's just four teams that are out there that could trade for Zach LaVine. I think the Lakers are still my top choice. You have the Clutch Sports, Rich Paul connection there. Also I think the Lakers are in a spot where they can maybe go all in on a guy like LaVine, really take advantage of LeBron's, last year of him playing at top 10, player level in the world. But also I got the San Antonio Spurs there. They're my dark horse team to trade for LaVine, as they have the cap space to do it, as LaVine's contract actually matches up perfectly with Wemby on his rookie deal, so they'll be able, to overcome his massive cap hit over the next couple of years. And plus him defensively, I don't think he would be a problem in San Antonio. And then I got two other teams in the Western Conference, the Clippers and the Warriors. Very similar positions, where I just don't think they have the talent to compete in the West, and maybe they just want to get another scorer. They want to get another elite player, in their organization. So, if the Bulls do end up, let's just say, trading Zach LaVine, it ends up being a better deal than we thought, that could also change my whole thoughts on this offseason, where then I would be thinking like, oh, maybe the Bulls are just playing hardball and they didn't want to deal him. But I do want to get this take. If he plays good, because I am fully assuming Zach LaVine will be in the starting lineup. He will be playing for the Bulls for at least the first month, if not 2 months, or if not up until the NBA trade deadline. Like, I really do believe that Zach LaVine will be on this team. So if he ends up playing good and he ends up being successful and really ups his trade value, the Bulls need to get on the phones and start being overly aggressive. Because you are necessarily rolling the die a little bit here. Because you're saying we can have LaVine up his trade value if that is the plan by playing at the start of the regular season. But let's just say that goes poorly. What if he plays worse? And then you start looking at that contract even worse than we are already viewing it. And then maybe you just are going to be stuck with LaVine on this roster while he finishes out his deal. So if he plays well, you pick up the phones and you get aggressive and you try to trade him to the Western Conference. But hey, you guys let me know. Will Zach LaVine finish the season on the Chicago Bulls? Give me a Y for yes or an N for no down below in the comment section. Curious to see what you guys have to say. Now, I do want to wrap today's show talking about a Bleacher Report record prediction for the Chicago Bulls, where they actually had the Bulls performing better than the bookmakers out west think, but I don't necessarily think that's a good thing for us Bulls fans. We'll get to that here in a second, but first off, I want to give a massive shout out to today's presenting sponsor, and that is Prize Picks. If you guys download the Prize Picks app and use promo code CLNS, you guys will get $50 instantly when you play just $5. That's code CLNS on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. And the kicker here is you don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Now, Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. Prize Picks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. And unlike other apps, on Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. And all you do, you pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. And for all your Bears fans out there, they actually have a deal going on right now where 1 Caleb Williams passing yard gets you 1 win on Prize Picks every week in September. That's right. Only 1 yard gets you an automatic win every football weekend in September. 4 weeks of free W's. Don't miss out on this deal on Prize Picks because it's gone once September ends. So download the Prize Picks app today. Use code CLNS and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks, run your game. So Bleacher Report went over every NBA team and was predicting their final record for the 24-25 NBA season. They had the Bulls going 30-52, which is actually better than what the bookmakers out west think of the Bulls, because right now their over-under is 27.5, so Bleacher Report has them right around that number, but just going slightly over. Now, this is what Andy Bailey of Bleacher Report had to say on the Bulls offseason, just talking about his record prediction, saying the Chicago Bulls lost DeRozan and picked up Josh Giddey this summer, but it doesn't feel like their roster makeover is done. Between now and February's deadline, it feels like we will continue to hear rumors about potential Zach LaVine or Nikola Vucevic deals in spite of a reportedly sparse trade market for both. And, overall, I just feel bad for the city of Chicago because it is a great basketball town. You go back, obviously, 90s Bulls, that was the hot commodity in all of sports. And honestly, the whole world, it was in our backyard. It was in Chicago. And these basketball fans, these fans of the sports teams, they just deserve better because high school hoops in Chicago here are fantastic. We've even got a couple good college teams. It's just unfortunate that our NBA team, the Bulls, are one of the worst run teams in the entire NBA. 30-50 season, or 52 season is just not too good for Chicago. But this was also what Andy had to say, saying whether those two are with the Bulls for the duration of the 24-25 or not, mediocrity is likely on the way again. The only distinction may be how much time and opportunity Giddey has to be the clear primary playmaker. At 21 years old, Giddey still has plenty of time between now and his prime, and Chicago should be intent on seeing how he and incoming rookie Modest Buzelis works together. That's a great point by Andy, I will say. That's key. I think the Bulls, another top priority heading into the season, see how Giddey, Kobe White, and Buzelis play together, because I think that is going to be a building block potentially for this team moving forward. But getting back to the record prediction, if the Bulls win 30-plus games, I'll be pissed off. And I know you're saying, oh, you're a fake fan. You don't want the Bulls to be good, yada, yada, yada. No, I want the Bulls to be great. I don't just want the Bulls to be good. I don't want them to be mediocre again. I want them to be effing terrible. I want the Bulls to win 10 games this upcoming season because you know why? This man right here, Cooper Flagg, is the lottery ticket. If the Bulls could somehow land Cooper Flagg, this franchise would actually turn in a very fast direction here, where I actually would be talking about them, having one of the better younger cores in the NBA. And sometimes, guys, you need to have a 10-72 season to have a 72-10 season. You need to move back sometimes to move forward, and the Bulls just clearly just have not done that at all over the last couple of years. So I think they're one of the worst franchises in all sports, but also we have another terrible franchise in Chicago. How about the Chicago White Sox? You guys let me know, who is the worst team? As this team is about to break the MLB single-season record for the worst record of all time. What front office, what organization is the worst? Give me a B for the Bulls or an S for the White Sox. I'm assuming you guys are going to say White Sox. But again, Bulls being mediocre, at least the White Sox are bad, and we'll get some high draft picks. But you guys let me know down in the comments. Now, if you guys also want to give me a follow on Twitter, that's handle right there, at Pat Sieps. Give me a follow over there, and I'll give you a follow right back. But see you guys next time. As always, go Bulls.